Can everyone still hear me? Because everyone froze on my screen. That didn't work. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there she is.
Oh, okay. I was like, everyone froze. I don't know where everyone went. All right. Okay. So I was going to say, so Team Cup is this month. So this is the month you should be pushing, doing way more than you have ever done. Way more invites, way more ads, way more connections, everything. Because one, you have a team that depends on you. Your team can't get that gym bag without you. And we all want that gym bag. So hitting Success Club has got to be a non-negotiable this month. Especially we have big things going on. Elizabeth, Success Starter month 3. Emily, Success Starter month 2. So like we all got goals. And if you put in the work, and I know I always say this, but if you're going that hard this month and you're really, really pushing it, that is going to make the next few months easier. Not that you are not going to have to work at all. You're still going to have to work in the next few months, but it's just the compound effect. So all the seeds that you're planting now are going to grow as you water them and make connections over the next couple of months. Keep making connections with those people over the next couple of months. So I have been, speaking of like connections, I have never really used the whole, now I'm blanking on the word, the collections on Instagram. And I know Michael always said she used them, and I tried them for a little bit and I was like, I don't know if I really like this or whatever. But all I've started doing is I now have a collection that just says new ads or whatever I called it, new people. Because I was breaking it down into like people who I thought would be good coaches and people who I thought would be good challengers or people who might have showed interest. And I was like, there is too many boxes for me and too many collections. So I have just made it new people. And anytime I add someone or anytime someone follows me, I am putting them in the collection of new people. So when then I go back and I want to check off that connection box on the tracker sheet at the end of the day, all I'm doing is going into that collection, and all of those people, I mean, as of right now, I probably have over 100 people in that group, in that thing, from like everyone I've added or people who have followed me or whatever. I'm going through them and I am just commenting on all of their stuff. Maybe like 2 comments. And if they have an Instagram story up, I'll quickly watch their stories and then comment on a few stories. So if you're not using collections or if you don't know how to get to the collections, does everyone know how to get to, like, how to put someone in a collection?
Is that just on the business one?
It might be. I haven't had a personal one in a long time, so I don't remember.
Okay, I'll look.
Yeah. If you, like, here's one of my last picture. So if I clicked on the bookmark and I held it, my collections come up. So then I can put in I have what I wrote, new connections, and I can tap that and then put that. So I had people like who were watching my stories, and I had made it. I mean, you can make collections for anything. Micah has hers where it's like basically there's a collection for every single letter of the alphabet, and then she does it alphabetically, and I'm like, that stresses me out. But I think that has been actually working, because then I'm actually like, instead of just scrolling through Instagram and then connecting with the people who like come on the top of my feed all the time, now I'm going back to those same people over and over and over again. So they see that I'm constantly showing up. That is exactly what Melissa did with me. I mean, I don't think there was collections back then, but Melissa every single day was commenting on my post. Every single day had something to say to like carry out a conversation with me. And then I was like her first person that she invited to be a coach that she didn't know. So her method obviously worked because I'm here. So, okay. My other thing I want to talk about is treating this as a job, because I feel, not necessarily like, I'm not talking like about you guys, but just in general, I think some people will, because they're only paying $160 for this, they're kind of like, I mean, if I show up, I show up. If I don't, I don't. I only paid $160 for like a challenge pack, and like that's it. But if if you paid $1 million for a McDonald's, you would show up there every single day because you paid $1 million, and you would treat it like a business. So this should be treated as a business. And you're just saying like, you got a really great deal. Like you are a CEO of your own business that you only paid $160 for, which I think is one of the perks of this. I know people who are like pushing so hard with Roden and Fields or whatever, but they also had to buy about $1,500 worth of products. So if they don't work and try to sell those products, they're stuck with it in their house. This, treat it like a job. Show up every day instead of like an online class that, you kind of forget about until you get to the final exam and you're like, oh, maybe I should watch some of those videos from that online class that I signed up for. So try to show up every single day and treat it like a business. This was something that I was just talking to JC about before a bunch of you guys hopped on. But if you don't have something to say, then you need to make sure, like, if you're like, I don't know, I don't have anything to post, I don't have anything in my stories. I'll be honest, I didn't post yesterday, and I'm actually not even sure I posted today. Yesterday was super busy. Today, I was like, honestly, today was super busy at work too. I feel like my prep periods, the whole world wants to speak to me. And when I'm on hall duty, every student that passes by wants to talk to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is supposed to be my quiet time. And I just have not had a chance. So I made sure that I was showing up in my stories and trying to add value in my stories and just trying to be like entertaining and whatever in there, since I didn't do a post. And I made sure I tried to do more than usual. But so if you feel like you have nothing to say, or you're like, I don't know what to post, you can follow that calendar that I gave in the Soul Squad thread. But you have your workouts, you have your PD, that's all part of the 4 vital behaviors. You're inviting, you're messaging, you're all those things. So like if you're doing your workouts, maybe someone said something. Autumn always has like great little tidbits that she throws out there. I actually have one on my wall. And it says, your desire to change has to be greater than your desire to stay the same. That may be a famous quote, I don't know, but the first time I heard it was from Autumn in a workout. And I was like, whoa. I like paused it and I wrote it. I was in the weight room at the high school that I work in. And I was like, someone needs to give me a pen and paper, and like took some kid's assignment pad and wrote it down. And like, because that just like spoke to me, and now I just put it on my wall because I love it. And when I sit in here late at night and I like want to eat a cookie, I'll like look at that quote and be like, meh, probably don't need the cookie. So find something that stands out to you. Maybe it's in your PD. If you're PD and you're like just reading PD just to read it and you're like not interested in it, don't read it anymore. Like Paige was reading that Bo, what's his name? Bo Eason or whatever book. And she's like, I just really wasn't feeling it. And so then she stopped reading it because find something that speaks to you. I got, only because Micah has been nonstop talking about this, The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. So that is going to be my next book that I'm reading. And I actually got like a book because I want to be able to take notes, because I love The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. So this is the new one that I'm going to start. I just got it in the mail today. The Miracle Morning. I took notes all over that book, and I like still love doing The Miracle Morning. So if you haven't read that one, definitely read it. Okay. If you're getting invites and
Lauren, sorry. If you have Kindle, I never say it right. The Amazon little book weight thingy.
Yeah.
It is free. Miracle Morning is free with the Kindle Unlimited. That's all.
Oh. Yeah, that book is awesome. I gave it to someone to borrow. Someone borrowed it from me. I don't know who it was, and that was 2 years ago, and I never got it back. So, because I would love to reread it again. Okay, everyone should be inviting. If you're inviting, I guarantee you're getting objections. Nope, I don't have the money. No, I don't have the time. No, I don't want to work out at home. No, whatever. Use some of those objections and turn it into a post and post about it. I'll do that sometimes in like the first line. Like, if you ever have watched the Angie Lee training, and if you haven't, I'll find it somewhere. It's such a good training. But Angie Lee had said like the first line under your post should be something that stands out. So So like I posted, one of my posts the other day was like, I don't have time. I just put it in quotes. And then underneath that, I talked about how I thought I wouldn't have time for this or this or this. And I found out I was wrong, whatever. Like turn whatever you're thinking or something that stands out to you and turn it around and make it into a post. Try to come up with a plan for social media for during the week. It makes the week so much easier. I sucked last weekend and I did not make a plan, which is why I did not post yesterday or today. I was just like, I don't really know. I used like the Rise Up journal, you guys know. And then, so like in it, we'll go to a blank page, but in it has like the week of where I can write down every single one of my posts and kind of come up with an idea. So I'll look at the calendar and I'll try to figure out next week is sneak peek, I think. I have to look at the calendar, but next week might be like the sneak peek Zoom, which is basically instead of having a 2-day sneak peek, we'll host like one that's just like a Zoom call. So I think we're going to ask some of you guys to go live on the page and then just talk about, you know, how coaching has helped you. If you want, but then that night, on that Thursday night, next Thursday is going to be like anyone who is interested, we can all hop on, all the coaches can hop on, and anyone that has potential people who might be interested can hop on. And we're going to talk about coaching, answer any questions that they may have, and like any of you guys can speak and answer questions. And so that's gonna be next Thursday. So like I know right now when I plan my schedule, my post for next week, I'm gonna plan like I'm gonna start throwing in a little bit of coaching stuff next week, like kind of just breadcrumb it in the posts. I'm gonna have one that's kind of like a call to action post that says this is what we are doing on Thursday night, like join us kind of thing. So that's that. Okay. So yeah, just try to just change up your posts. Try to make your, your post, like if it's a dark picture, try to make it lighter, whether you add more light on it or you add like a filter that's going to make it brighter or stand in front of a brighter wall or something like that. And try to make it a little somewhat consistent, but try to switch up your posting. Like no one is like into the whole, like, unless you're showing a transformation picture of your muscles, but like you standing there, like flexing, like most people are probably just going to scroll through it unless you're showing your muscle growing from one to the other. The shake, like, yes, I'm drinking Energize. I know it's 9:30 at night. But you smiling with your cup or whatever like that, like that's not going to do it for people. So try to switch up your posts because you're not selling Beachbody. You're selling you. So people want to see you. They want to know what you're doing, what you're up to, that you're normal and that, your life gets crazy too. And they want to hear a message. I watched a training the other day and I don't remember the coach's name, but she was saying like, follow-ups are key, but she's like, I own probably everything that Nike has to offer. And she's like, they don't miss a day emailing me with more like sales or it'll come up on my ads on social media. Like they are always there. And she's like, and if I add something to my cart and I don't buy it, she's like, they keep emailing me like, you have something in your cart. You have something in your cart. And she goes, and basically they're going to keep sending that message until one of us dies, me or Nike. And she's like, so that's what you want to do with your people. Like follow up with them. If anyone has shown interest, I have sent messages to the same person. They've been following me for like 3 years and they showed interest, a couple of times. I have sent them a message every single month for 3 years. Some of them have never told me no. They'll just be like, maybe soon, or I'll let you know. And I follow up because you never know. It could be that 20th time where they're like, you know what? I'm actually glad you asked this month because this is it. This is like, now I'm going to do this. So keep messaging and keep following up unless they tell you, yeah, go actually die. Keep following up with those people until like the end of one of you. Because you never ever know when they're going to actually need it. I think there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, look at the last thing I was really going to say. Do you sleep? I just saw that. Jason, no, I don't ever. That's why I have Energize. It just keeps me going all night long. I'll just keep this until my workout the next morning. for those who have been coaching for a while, because newer coaches won't really have anyone under like for subscriptions. But if you've been coaching for a while, use your subscriptions. Go to your coach office and look at your subscriptions and see whose bod is renewing for the month. I do that every month, and it's nothing fancy. I do it on a piece of paper, and I write February subscriptions. Under me, here's everyone's subscription who is up for a bod renewal. Here's everyone who's getting Shakeology this month, everyone who's getting the performance line this month. And then I write every single one of those down. I do it for my account, John's account. I don't really have anyone under subscription under my mother-in-law's, but like sometimes I'll like write hers. And I message every single one of these people who are doing a subscription. So 2 people who are getting bod, who are like having bod renewed this month, I'm like, I email them and I let them know that their bod is renewing. And, sometimes you're like, because then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, thanks for the reminder, I'm going to cancel. I'm like, oh no. But most of the time I'm like, for only $50 more, you can get instead of paying $99 for the year, you could pay just an extra $50 more and get another bag of Shakeology or more of the performance line or whatever. And 90% of the time, people say yes to that, because why would you not want to get, Shakeology, which is $130 for $50, especially with the promo code now. So I have 2 people so far who have like, yeah, I want to do that. And they just canceled their bod. And then I sent them a share a cart for a new subscription, for a new challenge pack. So always message. And the same thing with the people with the Shakeology. I say like, you've been getting Shakeology. I have one person, where is she? She is on her 7th bag of Shakeology. And I'm like, you can get a discount. And it's one of my friends. And she is the worst person at getting back to people. Like she will never text back. You try to call her and it's like, voice message box full. And you're like, what, where is she? You go to her house, she still has like October calendar on the fridge. And you're like, girl, get it together. So I'm like, you can be getting a discount. I just messaged her again today. And I was like, I'm going to come to your house and make you sign up as a coach because you're wasting so much money. So definitely keep that in mind for the future as you start adding challengers, and make sure you're looking at their subscription just every month, who is getting something and what else could they possibly need. So that is all I have to say on that. Does anyone have any questions about anything? I'm happy to see Amanda on. Anything? No? Emily's ready to go to sleep. She's sitting in the dark.
It's not a question, but when you said like you have to invite, I just listened to you didn't know, I think I put in the thread, if you didn't read it or see it, I'm currently reading, I look like a ghost, sorry guys. I'm currently reading Be Obsessed or Be Average, and
So good.
So good. Oh, I'm listening to it, so I really get Grant's like voice in my head. Love him yelling at me.
No.
But he's like, you're watching TV and you see all these commercials and they're repeating and they're repeating and they're repeating and they're repeating. Why aren't you like, it doesn't matter if you're reaching out to Sally Sue or if you're talking to a coworker or a good friend on the street, like you should not be like in your face, but also keep like kind of bringing it up. Like, oh, you've lost weight. Thank you. You should try these home workouts. Like throw it in there. And like Lauren said, follow up, invite same people month after month is wrong, because hell, if corporations can do it, I don't see why we can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Rant over, sorry.
No, yeah, keep doing it. And like, you know what, I said it before, like we're selling ourselves. We're not really selling Beachbody. And honestly, there comes a point where like, it's kind of like, is your life. Now, I'm not saying like Beachbody's your life. Like you don't have a life outside Beachbody. Like everything that I've learned from Beachbody is now incorporated into my life. So like getting my 4 a.m. workouts in and feeling good and liking it. Bless all those people who can work out after work. I did that today because I didn't work out this morning. I was like, I don't know how you people do it. I am tired. I have more energy at 4:30 a.m. than I do at 5 o'clock p.m. But like just getting the workout in and having me time, or taking the time to journal, or anything like that, like doing the gratitude and affirmations and stuff that I wouldn't have really done before coaching. Personal development. I have never read a personal development book in my life before coaching. And when I heard that was part of the coaching thing, I was like, ew, people read this stuff? Like, who reads personal development? Like, I always felt like there was like the needy, like people who really needed help in the self-help aisles. And then you're always like, who's in that aisle at Barnes and Noble in the self-help? Like, and I always just thought it was so weird. And now I'm like, where has this been all my life? And it's amazing. And now I get why people are always reading it. So that's all stuff that I wouldn't have. So like, it has changed my life more than just workouts. So find different things that you can talk about just based on that. Before, because, you know, I'm cheap, so I have the cheap free Zoom, and we only have 6 minutes left before it cuts us off. Does anyone have any questions on Micah's new tracker sheet? I am liking this tracker sheet so much more than like the old one that Beachbody came out with. Has anyone not seen it that like needs me to send them the link to it or anything? So make sure. I'm thinking about, would you guys participate if I did something in the team page for prizes? Like every week you post like your filled out tracker sheet and like post it in there, and like at the end of the month, like I do prizes or something. Would anyone do that?
I always forget.
Well, don't. This is like a Bible.
I know. I love it. And I love that she explained it
Says the
so thoroughly. Yeah. But I always forget to post it. I mean, I can't. I almost forgot a kid at Walmart yesterday.
Well, you have so many of them.
I know. Like, what matters if you lose one of them? Who cares?
Yeah, you have more. It's fine. What's one less? It's cool.
But literally, that's, my brain is so like everywhere that I'm like, did I even post on Facebook? I don't remember. Did I respond to that message? I thought I did, but I forgot to hit send.
Oh, I've done that.
Multiple times. And then I'm like, why are they not responding? They were so quick to respond before. And I'm like, oh, that's why.
I'm trying now to, instead of being like, I'll respond to a message here, and then I add I do a little connections here, and then do this, like I'm doing everything in like blocks. And if I don't, like at the end of the night, that's like when I do all my messages. And like I respond to everyone. So like this way I'm not forgetting everyone. Like my inbox is cleared at the end of the night. I've responded to every single person by the end of the night. And then the next day, like I'll save it for at the end of the night too, because I started feeling like I was missing things and I'm like, did I actually, like, how many people did I actually add to my network? Because I just kind of did it in a pocket of time. So like now I'm like, I have a pocket of time right now. The only thing I'm concentrating on is maybe adding to the network. And if messages are coming in, like if I see a message pop up that someone messaged me, I do not stop to open that message because I want to finish what I'm doing and like check off the box. Like I'm officially done with that. Now I'm moving on to the next thing. So I've been doing that and I feel like I'm a lot more, I don't know what the word I'm trying to say is. I get a lot more done. Yeah.
I need to work on that. I get so scatterbrained. Like I'm doing something and this thing pops up. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go do that. And then
that's how I used to do it. Yeah. Now I'm doing like, no, I'm concentrating on one thing and like I'm ignoring the rest. And I'm not gonna, I don't bounce around anymore, which I think is so much better. But definitely print out a whole bunch of these. And like, and I actually use my Rise Up journal and put it in there and check off. But I'm also like, I tried to add like different things in here that are maybe not on here that I can do, but I've been starting to like check off these and I like this tracker sheet a lot better. I've not done the whole like left-handed thing that Micah talked about. Yeah, because I'm at 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't concentrate writing with my left hand, but I am going to start. And because I think that's interesting that she said to try it like that. So.
Yeah, I know my best partner does and she loves it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to try that.
I don't use Micah's tracker because with the commissions I made from Beachbody, I've been able to buy an iPad and I haven't been able to get the app on my Google phone for the Success Club app. So if you guys don't know about that, any Apple products, except the computer, obviously, you can get, there's a Success Club app. It's made by somebody else, not Beachbody, but it has all the checkers there. So if you're like me and I just got really annoyed with printing out the paper, I started using the app.
Yeah. Okay, we have less than a minute. This is going to boot us off. So if anyone has any other questions, let me stop the recording.